Faith Forward Media, this is Healthcare Musings. I'm Dr. Hashem Hasabala. Hey everybody. Welcome to Healthcare Musings. Happy to have you with me. So, you see a patient, you write a note, you bill the insurance company, you file a claim. The insurance company denies the claim. The same is true on an individual level in the office or at a hospital level. A patient comes into the hospital, gets treated for a certain condition, gets discharged from the hospital bills, and then the insurance company denies the claim. It'll deny the claim either because it didn't meet criteria for the inpatient level of care, or nowadays more often because especially Medicare Advantage plans have to follow the 2 midnight rule. Now they're going through and they're denying multiple secondary diagnoses so that the severity of illness in the DRG goes down, and they can say that they overpaid on the claim. Whatever the case may be, a whole number of types of denials. And now you're stuck. Either payments not being done, or they paid you already, and in the case of DRG, they're coming back and they're saying you owe us $5,000, $3,000, $1,500, whatever the case may be. And if you just blow them off and ignore it, then they'll just assume that you agree with them, and then they'll reduce future payments by that alleged overpayment that you made. So you have to file an appeal. You either do it yourself, or you have an in-house team, or you have a physician advisor like myself write the appeal for you. We write the appeal, we make our reasoning as to why the denial is incorrect and inappropriate, and send it to the insurance company. And more often than not, you get silence in return. No letter, no communication. We follow up with the insurance company, and they just verbally say, "Oh, it was denied for lack of medical necessity," or the DRG denial, the DRG appeal was denied. No letter, nothing, no explanation as to why they denied the appeal, why your reasoning was incorrect. This is terribly frustrating. I mean, and the whole purpose of this episode is to decry this practice. The whole revenue cycle grinds to a halt with a denial, right? Everything stops. So if you're going to go through the process of an appeal, the very least the insurance company can do is to write back, is to respond, is to say, "We saw your appeal, we looked through your reasoning, and we either agree with you and overturn the denial," which sometimes happens, or we do not agree and we uphold the denial, and here's why. And then they outline their reasoning in the letter. This is common courtesy. This is the very least a payer can do if they're going to deny the claim and grind the revenue cycle to a halt. And just to completely ignore and not even send a letter is the height of discourtesy, and it really should not happen. When I write an appeal letter that is like a second level, and there's a verbal, quote unquote, a verbal denial, I call that out in the letter. I say, "We sent a letter on such and such a date. It was denied with no letter sent by the payer to explain why." And I call that out. And on the flip side, if the insurance company does send a letter, I thank them. I say, "Thank you for sending the letter," because many payers just verbally deny and they don't explain why. "We really appreciate that you sent the letter, and I vehemently disagree, and here's why." I mean, ultimately, the payer and the provider, I hate to use that word for a doctor, but whether it's a hospital or whatever, the payer and the provider are really in the same business. We're in the business of caring for patients, right? It's different sides of the business, but at the end of the day, it's the same. We're ultimately on the team of the patient. Maybe not the same team, but the team of the patient. And the dialogue between payer and provider in the appeal and denial process just shuts down when the payer does not send a letter explaining why. This is wrong, and it has to stop. If you're going to deny a claim, the least you can do is to write a letter explaining to me why you upheld the denial and why my reasoning was incorrect. What did I get wrong? Maybe I got wrong. Maybe I missed something. There are times when a hospital is asking me to send a letter to appeal a denial, and I tell them there's no basis for your denial. For your appeal, that the payer is right. It may not necessarily make me happy all the time, but I will acknowledge and tell a hospital, there's no basis to appeal. The payer was right in this case. But the back and forth is what's most important. If you just don't send a letter and you just shut down that dialogue, and nobody wins. Nobody wins. So again, this practice must end. If you're going to deny a claim and I appeal it and I go through the time and effort and then the hospital system with the physician office pays money to do that, the very least you can do is send a letter and explain why I'm wrong. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for your time and attention. And until next time, Hashem Hasabala signing off on Healthcare Musings. Thank you for listening. Sign up at healthcaremusings.com to get every episode delivered directly to your email. And please don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Thank you so much.